You know, but back to what you were saying. Name me one of your best sporting events, and I'll say mine.
Best sporting events.
Or football event.
See, but I look at it differently.
Why?
Because I don't look at it like a fan or attending games. Like, my job now is to be in the studio. Mm-hmm. I don't get to go to too many games. I get to go to the Super Bowl every year. I'm going to the Combine. I'm going to the owners' meetings. I'm going to the draft. The draft, to me, is a great sporting event,
right,
that you wouldn't ordinarily think of, but it's exciting because there's hope for 32 teams. Everybody thinks
their guy is the guy.
And he's giving that guy hope.
Right.
So you're showing up, and the NFL has done an unbelievable job at putting it in these cities. It used to be every year in New York City.
Right, and it was the Jets dominated, it was the Giants
right,
dominated.
And that was always part
dominated.
of the fun, listening to the Jets and Giants fans agonize over their team's picks.
Right.
Now they've taken the draft, they've gone to Chicago, they've gone to Dallas, they've gone to Cleveland, they're going to Las Vegas. They went to Las Vegas. They're going to Kansas City.
Correct.
So they take it on the road now, and it's a huge event. It's a huge deal.
Right.
Wherever the draft is. When you're in New York, it's spring in New York. Okay, there's so much going on.
Right.
When the draft is in another city, it feels like it's the biggest deal in town.
Right.
So I would say the draft, to me, where there's actual news happening, where there's selections being made, where there's hope given to all these teams, that to me stands out more than going to a playoff game or a Final Four. I don't get to go to that anymore. I like going to the Masters.
Really?
I've gotten into golf. I've gotten into. Oh, you never been?
Never been.
You know, last year and
I'm from Atlanta, so it's
well, that's what I'm saying.
A lot of traffic.
I went for the first time in 2020, and I couldn't believe how many quarterbacks there were roaming the grounds. Now, I went in a year during the pandemic when it was virtually empty. I think it was 20% capacity. But everywhere I went, there were a bunch of quarterbacks. You missed out because it was fun, and to watch these guys and do what they do, man, they're awesome.
So I would say my favorite sporting event was really two, and I'm gonna dip my barbecue sauce and honey mustard. Right. Number one was Miami and Ohio State National Championship, and
Orange Bowl, right? Wasn't it the Orange Bowl?
Orange Bowl. And
Fiesta Bowl. It was the Fiesta Bowl.
It was a Fiesta Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a Fiesta Bowl. And I told Ken Dorsey, who coached me in Carolina. Now shout out to Ken, who just got promoted as the OC for the Bills. I told him, like, man, I look up to you. I wanted to be him. He had Andre Johnson, he had Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, all these different athletes. And here I am, as a kid, and real tears came. And I remember, like, being in a very religious household, we said a prayer for Willis McGahee.
Yeah, that was unbelievable that night.
When he tore his knee up, and it was remarkable to see how he bounced back from it, had an amazing NFL career after that. But I cried because I wore two in my younger days because of Willis McGahee. He had the smoked out mirror visor. And I was like, man, I want to be that right there. You know what I'm saying? So between the Ohio State, Miami Hurricanes National Championship, and then the Texas and USC.
Oh, man.
National Championship. It was just like gripping.
And see, I can remember where I was for each of those games. I was on a date in Denver during the Miami-Ohio State game. And the USC-Texas game, I was flying from Los Angeles to Seattle for a football game or a story to sit down. But I was on the plane, I landed, and they said that Texas had upset USC.
Right.
And who would have thought that was going to happen at that time, right? It was unbelievable.
Man, I just remember, the person who Reggie Bush was and is still, man, it was so iconic. He was so electrifying. So like bold to do some of the moves that he did, and then he tried to throw the pitch back in the actual real game.
Yeah.
That's something that he got kind of backlash.
Those games they become moments of you remember where you were.
Yes.
They really do that, and
Yes.
that's also what great sporting moments do.
Correct.
You remember where you were, what your mood was. You can remember all the things that come along with it.
Right.
To me.
Yeah. So I mean, let's just be honest. Sports brings a lot of people together, and it brought us together. And I'm blessed to be able to say that I can share this opportunity with you.